Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much for your time, Elaine. I know you're quite busy and you're here for a very short time. Thank you for making time to speak to us at Le Afrinique. So my name is Selloane, and I'm the editor of the platform. I mean, I've profiled you quite a bit since 2019. This is quite exciting for me to actually have a chat with you.
Excited, and thank you.
Yes. Cool. All right, we can get to it. Cool. So I'm just gonna go back a bit. So your singing career. So you started singing at a very, very early age. So if you can just take us through that side, the humble beginnings, where the love for music started, and why did you decide to go, the R&B route?
Yeah, so I've been singing all my life, pretty much since I was 6 years old. I would always enter, like these school competitions and these talent shows, and I was always in the choir. And then when I got to high school, I started taking the music thing very seriously. I was in the UP Youth Choir and travel overseas, for choir competitions and all of that. And I remember was it 2014, we went to Riga, Latvia for the World Choir Games, and we did really well. And that's where my passion really started to show in my life, because I was actually taking it very seriously. I was involving my parents. And so when I got to university, that's when I was like, okay, I really want to put together the music, I really want to take it seriously. I want to be an artist, I want to be a musician. So that's where this whole journey began and really just come into fruition. And that's where I really to understand what it means to be a musician, an artist, and to create and all of that. And so I started working on my EP when I started working on it at the end of high school. I was already writing music from a very young age. And so I met one of the producers who co-produced on the EP, Clarity. I had known him in high school already. And so when I got to university, I reached out to him. I reached out to Elaine, who co-produced, and I was like, I really want to put together a project. How do we do it? And they were like, Elaine, you don't have any material out. Have you ever written a song? Have you ever, do you know how it was? I'm like, no, but I think I can do it, in my notebooks in high school. Maybe someone will listen. And so we put the project together, which took over a year, obviously, because I was a full-time student at the University of Witwatersrand, studying towards my BA degree, which I now have, and that's hanging in my
Yay, congrats.
Congrats. Yes, so I was juggling being a full-time student and trying to, become an artist. And so what happened is that I would record in Elise's garage after and in between classes. And I was
even focusing, because I know, music has this thing where you literally want to be either listening to it or making it 24/7.
I'm telling you, that's where I really learned the art of balancing. That's, I think, that is. And on some other days, I'd be recording in Clarity's dorm room, because he was also a university student. So we'd be in the dorm room, taking our time, really, like no pressure, and we're putting it together. And I remember it being ready and Elise calling me and saying, hey, it's ready, we've mixed and mastered it, we're gonna upload it online on DistroKid, and yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm like, okay, nice.
Little did you know.
I was like, okay, nice, I'm studying right now, so I'll tap in with you later, let me know how it goes, blah 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 blah. So they uploaded, and I remember we had forgotten to take into consideration the time difference.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but it dropped at a time that I wasn't happy with. So I remember I was upset on the day. So I switch off my phone, right? And I go to campus. I get to campus and people are staring at me. And I'm like, I don't know people on campus. I'm always alone. I don't have that.
Yeah.
What I ignore it. I get into the lecture hall and everyone is still, like I can feel the energy. I'm like, something weird. So I take up my phone and my phone is blowing up. Like it's absolutely insane. And I call my friend. I'm like, hi, I'm alone in this lecture hall. She's like, where have you been? You are number one on the chart. I'm like, number one on what chart? She's like, and like on all genres, like like you have the biggest EP. I was like, you're lying.
Yeah.
And I look at my phone, it was true, and I was just like, my life changed from there. Everything after that, I think, was a blur. I think it was like, apparently you have the #1 project in the country, because I didn't tell him that I was using that he was giving me to go make music.
Yeah.
So he was, it was like, it was a really great moment for me, for my family, for my friends, and I think more than anything for the culture as well, because
Yes, definitely.
first independent female artist to make that happen, and I think it made a lot of people understand that there are a lot of things that go into making music, but if you have yourself, and if you have your music, and if you're genuinely, yourself, people will gravitate towards you. I mean, I released it with about 700 followers on Twitter and about
then like, it's Shem, like, some people, some artists, you plan these things. Okay, once you release, maybe I need to do like a tour or something like that. I mean, things just like naturally just happened for you.
It did.
And
I'll always be, grateful that was my introduction to the music industry, because I know how tough it can get, and I know everybody has a different story and a different journey. But I'm very grateful for mine. So that was the beginning of, everything that you see now. And then as time went by, I signed a record deal with Columbia Records, which has been lovely. Then the pandemic happened, so I wasn't able to really go onto the road or really, just be active as much as I wanted to. But I appreciated that time, because it gave me the time to finish my degree during the pandemic, studying. And then as soon as the pandemic started to show some grace, I was able to relocate to the States and working on my debut album, and it's finally ready. And here I am.
So, like, you literally just went through all of my questions. No, I understand. It's the passion. It's the passion. Like, you want to tell your story. I totally understand. So I want to go back a bit also, with you being, an independent artist. What would you say were your highlights, your key highlights okay, but you've said them already, actually.
We can say it again. I can say it again. Like, the highlights of being an independent artist.
Yeah, and some of the challenges that you've had to face, because I know, being independent, everything almost comes out of your pocket. You have to finance most of the stuff that you want to put out. So what would you say for your journey, especially back then? What were the challenges and the highlights?
Well, because I was at such a young age, and I didn't really have any expectations at the time. I think being independent just honestly allowed me to navigate my way as freely as I can, not really because it was the start of, my career. I was still learning about, the industry. So it gave me enough time to understand how the music industry actually works. It gave me time to, do my own research. It gave me time to try and understand what type of environment I want to release my music in, type of deals as well. And I feel like that's the part that a lot of artists miss, in the music industry, is that at the end of the day, whatever you want to achieve is achievable, but you're gonna have to have the right structure for that to work. Do you know what I mean? And so being independent gave me time to learn, to experience, to have conversations, to ask questions, to try and figure it out and make me independent. Right now I'm engaging with whoever it is, be it my label, be it the people that I collaborate with. I am independent and I am confident in what I'm saying, because I've had the experience of having to put it out by myself. And now that I have the support of the label, I'm able to voice myself from a place of my own experience, my own independence and my own freedom. And so that just creates a safe place for me, a safe place for my art, and a safe place for me to create from.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Okay. You've said, you put out the EP, and then you literally switched off your phone and the magic happened. Like, did you ever imagine that, even your first project will reach this level? you know?
I never expected anything that came after, but I can tell you one thing. I've always expected the best from everything that I do. So I was open to receiving the best.
Okay.
And I have no expectations, but I know the best thing for me will happen. The best thing that God has planned for me is going to happen.
What will happen, yeah.
Just putting that energy out there is the same energy that came back to me. And yeah, that's just my attitude. I don't know how things go.
Look, it was divine intervention.
Divine
It looks like divine intervention.
divine, exactly.
And then, working on your music this side compared to, the States, what are the differences like in terms of like processes and stuff like that?
Oh wow.
Is here and in there.
I think creating music in its entirety is just such a like there's no structure to it, that's what I've come to learn. Creating at home is always lovely, I'm in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's lovely, but when I'm abroad, like I find myself creating from a different place mentally, it just gives me a different type of inspiration. Every place gives me a lot of different types of inspiration. When I'm creating from the States, my mindset is that, wow, okay, like people at home really want to hear from me. They would really want to hear what I'm going through. They really want to experience what I'm going through. And when I'm home, when I get to know me,
yes.
my culture, when I get to know, who I really am. So I'm always just creating from a place of so much inspiration in different ways. But I think to answer your question, the only thing that I could say is different is that the people are different. Everywhere you go in the world, like you meet different people that create differently, but it's all lovely because it's music at the end of the day, and that's my universal
language as well. So
yeah, that's the universal language. So as long as that's what we're dealing with, then it's dope.
okay, cool. So you're here for 2 weeks. What are your plans around this time? Like what when you're this side, like what do you look forward to most?
Wow, when I'm home,
Yeah.
I love to spend time with my friends and my family because I don't see them. Yeah, the longest I went without seeing them was 9 months, and I'm never going to do that ever again.
Oh.
So every time I'm home, I spend time with my family. I want to create music. I take advantage of what matters. It really matters. Really, really
It's
matters.
also good for the soul as well,
So when I'm home, I'm here for soul. I'm just rejuvenating. I'm touching base. I'm not too pressured to really like get in the studio and create. But if I'm feeling inspiration, I'll pass by the studio at home, and I'm obviously not working or putting on shows or doing a few interviews. I really, really just love to be with my people. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, speaking about shows, you'll be performing or you're hosting something on Sunday
Yes.
at Altitude. Tell us a bit more about that.
So I have the Lonely Hearts Club that I'm taking now. Just a safe space for me and my fans to be hopeless romantics, to be heartbroken in peace.
Yeah. It's gonna be an emotional show, I can just tell.
Very emotional. So that's what I have this Sunday at Altitude. I had the same Lonely Hearts Club the previous Sunday or 2 Sundays ago. So once the album is out, I'm definitely going to make it, a national tour so that everybody can get to experience it. But I just wanted to touch base with my fans because I've never actually had the opportunity to touch base with them and
On a personal level, yeah. Well, that's very beautiful. And then are you gigging anywhere else before you leave?
Yes, so I have, I think, 1 or 2 more shows that I'm doing. It'll all be on my social media, but we're outside now. We're outside.
And it's open. Yay. It's so yeah, it's an interesting time.
Yeah, it's just in time. Again, divine timing. Everything is just
Okay, cool. And then your album. Can you give us a taste about, what is it about, the inspirations, and when is it coming out?
This album is really, I don't even know how to put it into words, but if I were to break it down to you, I can say it's the most raw parts of me. You know, it's like real experiences that I went through, real heartbreak I went through. I think from the girl that I was when I was making Elements, I wrote most of that material when I was 18, 19, 20. The girl that I was then to the girl that, you know, had to get through university, to the girl that had to balance a career, to the girl that had to relocate, and all of that. There've been so many different things that have contributed to my growth. And yeah, it's been painful. There's been a lot of painful
but it's learning as well, you know.
But it's learning, and it's me sharing my experiences with my people, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. We're gonna cry for sure. We're gonna.
We must just prepare.
I'm giving you a cry.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be rough, but it's just my truth.
Okay. All right. And then, are there any special features that will be on the album that we can look out for?
There's something special.
Yeah.
I can't say now.
You can't say.
Yeah, but there's gonna be some very dope music.
Is it local? Okay, is it local acts or international or a bit of both?
I'm definitely representing South Africa.
Oh, nice.
Africa, but there's a mix, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I worked with over the years. Yeah, you guys will enjoy.
Oh, okay. All right. Have an amazing performance on Sunday. That's it from me. Yeah.